Buenos dias, motherfuckers, and welcome to another episode of For the Love of Drag. My name is Astala Vista.
And I'm Jimmy Boone.
And I'm going to be your goofy hostess with the mostest, and he's going to be your princess
Gay.
with the minces. I don't know. I was trying something new.
Minces?
Princess with the minces.
I don't really minced meat.
He has minced meat with him. It's in his pocket over there.
Minced meat pie. Well, if you
so we're already off to a fun Disney start, aren't we?
I was like, if you couldn't tell already what today's theme was, it's idiocracy. No, Astala Vista, why don't you tell the children what we're going to be talking about today?
Today, we are going to be talking about all things Disney. The good, the bad, the ugly, the expensive, okay? So let's dive in. I'd say, I'm going to be very honest with you, Jimmy Boone is definitely the Disney buff here. I'm a more old school Disney gal. I know my 90s movies. I've been to Disney like 2 or 3 times. But Jimmy, he's been there like 6, 7 times. He has been Disney obsessed his whole life. So why don't you kick this one off, because you definitely have a little more experience than I do.
Disney definitely is one of my specialties, I can say. That was my first vacation. I remember I was probably 5 or 6 years old. My parents loaded up our big brown station wagon that we had. They put like this thing on the back seat so me and my sister could just sleep in the back seat the entire time. It was like an 18-hour drive. I basically remember falling asleep, and then when we woke up, we were like in the part of Orlando or Kissimmee, Florida, where it actually is, where you see the like "Welcome to Disney World" signs and all that fun stuff.
Oh,
so that
you
was, like,
had that like movie fantasy.
It was literally like a magical moment right there.
Wake up, honey.
Literally, I think my mom literally was like, "Wake up, honey, we're here."
Oh, that's amazing.
So she didn't have to hear the "Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?" But that was my first vacation. I remember we did Disney World. We did all of the parks at that time. I don't even think Animal Kingdom was even a thing at that point in time in Disney World.
Okay.
You might not even know, but that one came later in our lives.
I did not know, because the first time I went, we did have Animal Kingdom.
No, that one came, I don't know what year it was, but it was definitely later in our lives. It was probably closer to 2000 or something.
Which it would have been literally my first time going. So that
Yep.
I think, actually, it's so funny you said that. Like, that just brought it back for me. Animal Kingdom was very new when I went there.
The Yeti ride or something was...
Yes, the Yeti ride was in soft opening. So It wasn't even fully opened yet. It was soft opening. So, like, that's how long ago my first time was.
So when I first went, I think the first maybe 2 times I went, first one or second time, there was only the 3 parks there. And I remember we also did one of the water parks, and they had one of those wave pools.
Yes.
Where it acts like an ocean, where every so often there's this like huge tidal wave thing that comes over. And I remember, me being the entrepreneur person that I am, my favorite part of that was diving down to the bottom of the pool when the waves would come, because all of the change that was in people's pockets would get washed out of their pockets.
An icon and a legend.
I think I made about $3.75 that day, which in 1995 in Disney World would have gotten you like
the ice cream bar, right?
No, one M&M, just one single M&M.
I feel like in that year you probably could have got the Mickey ice cream bar.
Probably, you're probably right.
Almost. That's probably 5.
Maybe like
one
one little thing, if that. But that's like one of my first like vacation memories I think that we ever had. And as you said, I've been, I think, 6 or 7 times since then. I've been very fortunate. My mom has always either worked overtime or saved up, or we went with extended family members, or this, that, or the other. But my family was always very big on the pin trading of Disney. I know I tried to get you in on it once or twice.
Yes.
But we were very, very big on the pin trading. If you guys are not familiar, at Disney World or Disneyland, any of those places that you go to, there's these like little enamel pins that you can buy for like anywhere from like $6 to $12. And once you buy
12,
them,
I'm sure they go up from there.
but once you buy them, you're able to trade them with any of the Disney cast members. So if you walk around Disney World, you'll see that the cast members are wearing lanyards with their little name tags on them, and on those lanyards there are pins. And it's like a rule within the Disney World community that the cast members have to trade any of the pins that you want to, as long as it is like a legitimate Disney pin. So if you go up to them and you see a Goofy pin on their lanyard and you want that Goofy pin, you just have to take one off of yours, say, I want to trade for that Goofy pin, and they have to give it to you.
And you have quite a collection.
I do.
I've seen it.
I was looking for it today. If we can find it before we actually upload the episode, I'll put some pictures or whatever up. But I probably have close to, I'd say about 100 pins. My I think everybody that collects pins picks like one theme or topic or whatever it may be, and ironically enough, my theme is the inspiration for this outfit today. Goofy. Goofy is my favorite Disney character, without a doubt. And
he gets a lot of pins. I mean, he's an HBIC of
Yeah,
Disney.
he's one
him
of
and
the,
Mickey are like
he's like one of the original 5 or whatever you call it. Plus, there's been so many spin-offs, the Goofy movie, everything like that. So that was always my focus on the Disney pin world. And I will say it's very unfortunate because over the years the pin situation has.
I feel like this is where I can chime in a little bit.
Yeah,
So I didn't realize I did go to Disney 4 times in my life. It was 4 times total. The first 2 times I didn't know what the hell a pin was. I knew nothing about that.
They might not have been there then.
I mean, it was 2000 and like 2002, so I'm sure they were there at that time. To be honest, I just didn't know anything about it. It was my first time in Disney. I didn't know. So I think the first time I really found out about the pin life was when me and you went together for the first time. Sorry, choking on air. So I feel like it was the first time we went together, and you were selling me this fantasy that, like,
I believed it.
I was just gonna walk in, and it was Pinsney now. Like, it wasn't even Disney anymore. That everybody was gonna have pins everywhere, and they were just gonna be throwing pins at me, and it was gonna be this like pin festival.
Yep.
Obviously, as you just said, it isn't like that anymore. I believe the time that we went was maybe 2018.
It was 2020. It was right before COVID.
2020. Okay, so we went 2020, so only 4 years ago. The pins were slacking. I will say the best pins were the ones that were on the lanyards of they were the workers,
old ones.
But there was only so few workers that even had lanyard pins.
Yep.
So my 2 favorite characters from Disney are Cruella de Vil and Marie. Yep. And when I tell you, I shit you not, there was not one Cruella de Vil piece of merchandise in the entire park when we went in 2020.
Not at all.
They were like, oh, check back around Halloween. I'm like, she's an icon. What do you mean?
It was right before the new movie came out.
It was right before the new movie came out. So I was like, I thought she was going to be loaded.
Yeah.
And same exact thing with Marie. The only thing they had for both of them, Marie had a t-shirt and then a pin. And it was all the Aristocats.
Yep.
And then Cruella just had the pin.
And I think the shirt for Marie was like a women's crop top.
It was a women's crop top. I was like, all right. I mean, I could make it work. But I was a little bummed with the pin life. So, like, obviously it was a much bigger thing back in the day. Clearly it has subsided a little bit. I guess it's a lot. People stopping workers, trading pins nonstop. If they're all wearing these pins, I could see how it becomes a little bit of a, not a work hazard, but like it slows productivity down or whatever.
Less efficient.
But other than that, obviously, other than the pins, Disney was the most magical experience. Finally getting to go as an adult and doing what you want to do. It was lovely.
And just seeing all of the things that Disney has also incorporated over the years. Like, obviously, when we were growing up, Disney was Mickey, Goofy. You would have like Aladdin, Lion King, this. But now going to Disney World, they also have added all like the Marvel and the Star Wars.
That Pirates of the Caribbean ride we went on, right?
That was incredible. Like, there's so much cool stuff that's just beside those main entities there. And I remember we were talking about our experience in 2020 going to Disney World. I think we were there. I think we planned it so we could do like 1 park per day, if I'm not mistaken. And maybe we saved like 1 day for Universal or something to that effect. But whatever day that we had planned to go to Epcot, I remember the night before we went to a local gay bar in Orlando. I think was it Southern Nights?
Okay, I don't want to say the wrong one. I do think it was Southern Nights, though, right?
There's 2. Parliament House closed, so it was Southern Nights.
It was. Oh, we did get to go to Parliament House.
We
got to go to Parliament House as well.
But that's not where we had
that was not where the night went. So it was a Tuesday, I remember. We went to Southern Nights on a Tuesday, the night before we were going to Epcot.
Yep.
And it was $10 all you can drink Tuesday.
Yep.
$10.
$10
all you can drink Tuesday.
Yes.
Obviously, well drinks, so you're not getting the most quality of liquor. First things first, before we even get into the story, that drag show was fucking fierce. You want to see a good drag show? You go to Southern Nights, Orlando. It was a Star Wars themed show, I believe, that night. Everybody was
I don't remember much from that night. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Looks. Numbers were sickening. They had a cast of like 8 or 10 people. Everybody only went once, but like each number was just icon status. Anyway, so we did our $10 little all-you-can drink, and we drank, and we drunk.
We were there early.
And we drank, and we
drank, we drunk,
we did
Ubered.
It all. Oh, we did. And the next day was the day we were supposed to be doing drinking around the world at Epcot. I don't know what is wrong with my family. We all talk about it, but we can drink a lot and then recover and drink more. It is bad. I definitely have alcoholics in my family. I don't know if there's a gene that helps you recover quicker or what it is. Even hangovers today. I wake up peachy the next day. He's dying for 24 hours.
I can drink and I can hang for the entire night, but then once I go to bed, something happens, and then the following morning,
Hot, cold,
I'm
freaking out.
Dying. which was exactly the experience that we had that lovely
Yeah,
Tuesday into Wednesday.
So we're ready to drink around the world. When we get up, he's dead. He barely even wants to go. I'm bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and ready to drink in France, Belgium, China.
And if you remember when we were doing Disney, we were doing the thing where we would do the what's it called? Extended magic hours or whatever, where we would go to the parks that opened early. We were supposed to go to Epcot early that day. And that didn't happen.
We did not go to Epcot early, that is for sure. We did not get
we
there
were
early.
debating on if we were even going to go at all, but eventually I got the my stomach together, and we were able to make our way out of the Airbnb or whatever we were staying at. And
you were just not happy that day.
No.
It was a bad day for you.
I remember we went on, what's that ride where you're like flying over shit? Soarin'?
Yep, Soarin'.
And it like smells like oranges and shit. And then I just remember being like, and then what's the one with the car where it's like a test track?
Yep.
And that was the same thing. It was just like they like whoop, 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 and I was like, oh, this is literally what you should not be doing on a hangover. And then I think after we did those 2 or 3 things, we started to do the around the world process because we were like, well, here we are. And I remember the only thing that I could stomach was like a large Coca-Cola, I think from Mexico.
Yeah.
And then I remember you were getting...
I did it all, I think.
You
I think
did-
there was like one that had beer only, and I didn't do that one.
yeah.
But I think I did like every other one.
Yep. And then I was even struggling to get food. The goal was to get one drink and one like food item to split between the two of us across the entire around the world experience at Epcot. If you've never been to Epcot, they have like, I think it's like 10 or 15 different countries represented where they have like little amusements around each country.
You pretty much step into that culture.
Literally, like you feel like you're like walking into like the town square of that country, and the idea is that you can grab a drink around the entire like lake thing that this is situated around. And unfortunately for me, that was not the case.
You didn't even make it halfway around the world.
I don't think I got a single drink. Maybe at the very, very end.
Maybe.
There was like, I think like England or something is at the very, very end. And I remember, and do you remember, we were pissed. Do you remember as we were going around the lake, we saw Belle, and it was Belle in the blue and white thing and not in the beautiful ball gown. And we were like, why does this Disney bitch with, with
devastated.
a bajillion-dollar budget have a crappier Belle costume
we
than
like,
the one that you wear at drag shows? we want the yellow fantasy, not the like walking through the whole town.
I remember we were so bummed about that.
That was rough. I think there was a couple experiences with the princesses.
Yes,
and then, do you remember also being impressed by what was it, Princess Jasmine, and just how like on
Princess
it she
Jasmine she had a quip, a snap,
I forget
something for everything we said to do with Aladdin.
Yep, I forget what it was, but there was somebody like in front of us in line, I remember, and she was just like, oh no.
That Princess Jasmine
she
was
knew.
incredible. Speaking of Aladdin, this is kind of off topic from Disney World, but this is a Disney musical. We got to see Aladdin together.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Well, I think we've seen 2, didn't we? I seen Lion King as a kid.
I was like, I think we've seen Lion King separately.
Okay, yeah, we know
took
it's
my
definitely.
mom.
I was like 4 years old or 5 years old.
Yeah.
I just remember with like people coming down the aisles with like
the giraffes.
Maybe I was a little older.
Yep.
So we've definitely both seen Lion King, but we've seen Aladdin together.
Yes.
And I have a bone to pick with the
I
Aladdin
know you do.
music. Oh.
So I will say the musical does have one of my favorite, I think, Broadway songs and numbers ever. Friend Like Me. I forget the performer's name who does
is one of the most iconic
the
numbers
person
ever.
on the
I mean, it goes up, down. All that is.
It's a journey. It's definitely like the climax of the musical itself. But your issue. Would you like to talk about what you didn't like about Aladdin?
I mean, I'm a very big animal person, obviously, and I love Aladdin. And I think like 2 of the not the funnest characters. Raja's not that fun, but like I love Raja and I love Abu. I feel like Abu is almost like the comedic relief of Aladdin. So when I was going to see Aladdin the musical, I was like, how are they going to depict Abu? Like, is it going to be an acrobat? Like, what are they going to do to have Abu come to life?
Yep.
And it turns out absolutely nothing. They totally deleted Abu from the musical.
Yeah, so there's apparently a thing within Disney musicals, like obviously Lion King's a different situation because the entire thing is animals. But within Disney musicals, like Frozen, I think is an example, and Aladdin is an example, when there's like an animal character, they replace the animal with like a human entity, so that way it's.
Well, I seen Lion King, and they didn't do that there. Okay,
I don't know the full story. I'm not going to sit here and defend it too much. But
so that one, it just put a little damper on me when I was seeing it. It was obviously fabulous. Everybody was incredible. The magic carpet scene was such a gag.
So cool.
But I was really excited to see how they were going to do Abu, and I was bummed beyond belief for that one. I wanted to get Abu merch. Like I was there for Abu. So they replaced him with like 3 like henchmen or whatever.
So Aladdin got 3 henchmen, and then Jasmine got 3 like little
Yeah.
girlfriends that were
Yeah,
always
but
in her
like
little room.
Raja, I think, got like a little mini, like a paw came out or
That sounds
something,
familiar,
right?
yep.
They did like one little moment where they like acknowledged who Raja was, but like, I don't know. I like those parts. Like even SpongeBob with Gary, they made sure to send a little Gary out. Like, give me the fantasy.
And seeing SpongeBob too, as you talk about that, like the actor who played SpongeBob in the Broadway musical, he was literally an acrobat, like climbing all over things.
He was an
I don't
acrobat,
remember the backflips or whatever, but doing something like that with Abu, I think, was something that you had said too. Like that would have been so cool if they had some kind of like acrobat guy, like doing. Like,
I wanted like a little
and
5'2" little flipping like Queen of Flips. You know what I mean? Just like doing everything, like go create a full number, like an acrobatic crazy number. I have missed opportunity. That's all I'm saying.
No, 100%. But my love for Disney, as well as your grown love for Disney, I think has been an ability for us to put Disney into our drag, specifically some of your performances. So why don't we go to a little break, and when we get back, we can talk about some of the inspiration between putting Disney into our drag shows.
Quite a lot of Disney
that
drag.
You do.
So yeah, let's talk about it.
All right, we will be right back after this. And welcome back to For the Love of Drag Pod. I am Jimmy Boone, and I'm here with the lovely Astala Vista. Before we went to break, we were going through some of our favorite Disney World experiences. We talked about some of the shows that we've seen on Broadway that were produced by Disney. But right now, I think we can get into how we have incorporated the wonderful world of Disney into drag.
Yes, I mean, we haven't done it by any means. I'm sure there's been lots of other people.
We're not the originators, but we definitely have done it.
Yes, I mean, I probably at this point have 10 plus Disney characters,
At least.
Disney numbers. Where did it all start? Let's think. Okay, so I believe my first Disney number ever was at Drag Wars. We've talked about this in past episodes.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
It was my second number
second
ever.
week there, yep.
I remember it all now. Okay, so it was Madonna week. Everybody was assigned a different Madonna song.
Yep.
Everybody got one, and I got I'll Remember.
Yep, the song that you wouldn't even know was Madonna.
And guess what? I didn't remember because I didn't know it, okay? I knew Vogue. I knew all the classics, but like I did not know what I'll Remember. I'll Remember. I'll always remember.
I think it's I'll Remember.
And I'll remember. Anyway, so it was I'll Remember.
Still don't remember.
I still don't remember. But I got that song, and I was like, shit, what am I going to do with this one?
Yeah.
So I talked to my mentor, Bev, and I was like, hey, like, can I turn this into a Dory mix? Because she has, like, memory loss. I always tried to, like, campify things a little bit. So she's like, yeah, I think that's a great idea. I ended up making a mix that was pretty much the song I'll Remember with, like, Dory interjections. Hi, I'm Dory, blah, 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 blah. And it was the first time that I was really trying to put together, like, a park and bark look, I guess, because it's a slower number, so I wanted to make sure I had something very elegant and poised. So I remember we went to the thrift store. We got a blue prom dress that barely fit. Yellow hooker heels, like 4-inch platform, 6-inch to 8-inch heel with the dress, with the shoes not covering, or the dress not covering the shoes at all, and the heels.
Was that the shrimp toes?
That was the shrimp toes. That was when my toes were hanging over the side of the heel. The heels were silver too. They weren't yellow. They were not.
They were the platform pleaser hooker or the stripper shoes,
but not yellow.
No, silver.
They were
yellow
silver.
Came later.
Yellow. I was like, yellow came later in life. They were silver at that point. I don't know. I was looking a whole mess.
Remember the hair?
What was the hair? Was it?
It was the bob.
Oh, God. It was my first wig I ever wore. It was an asymmetrical black bob, which I guess Dory has a little black in her, right?
Yep.
Somewhere.
Yep.
So
that was the like black fin moment.
There we go. So it all worked. But the look was rough, but the number was honestly pretty great. It's still a number
funny.
I do to this day. Not often because I have so many damn Disney characters, but like it was a great number. So that was my start in Disney.
Yeah.
And then from there, it kind of just started evolving.
Yeah.
Obviously, I have Goofy. If you're watching this, you see that I've got a Goofy look. I've got Tinkerbell, Pinocchio, Little Mermaid. I mean, they all Dumbo. They all just keep adding up. I mean, at this point, Star Wars too. Think about it. All of my Star Wars looks. Marvel. They're all Disney.
Hell,
hey,
Taylor Swift.
I was gonna say Taylor Swift's a damn Disney look now. If you want to get real, they're buying everything. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got quite some Disney under my belt. Obviously, one of the most iconic ones of them all. In addition to my Cinderella ball gown, I've got the Belle ball gown.
The Belle of the Ball.
A special one, if you will.
That it will always hold a special place, I think, in both of our hearts.
Why's that?
So I think, let's think about this. It's probably about 2018 or so.
Pre-COVID.
Yeah. I am not a performer. I never really wanted to be a performer. A person that's very nervous on stages. This kind of concept makes me a little bit nervous as well, if I'm being 100% honest with you. But Astala has always liked to include me in some of her performances as like a little side character or a little cameo kind of moment. So as we were trying to develop different Disney numbers, you wanted to do a Beauty and the Beast number, and obviously, if you're doing Beauty and the Beast, you have to at some point do the Tale as Old as Time dance scene. But when we did it, we didn't want to just do the like 4 minutes of a boring like slow ballroom dance or whatever it ends up being. So we incorporated some fun moments like the Soldier Boy and the Cha-Cha Slide and YMCA and a couple other things in there as well. So we did that number for probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 years through COVID and stuff like that. And then it got to one of our Drag Me to Landmark. I think it was like our 6-year anniversary, if I'm not mistaken, at Landmark in Glassboro, and
brought it back.
Yep, we were coming back from our intermission, and we were going to come back with the Beauty and the Beast number, and as far as you knew, it was the same number that we were always going to be doing, and the number's like 4 minutes long. We get through about 3 minutes and 45 seconds of it. And after we do our little fun moment with the Soldier Boy and the YMCA and whatnot, we go back to Tale as Old as Time in the performance. And at that moment, I'm wearing a like big fuzzy mechanical like Beast mask, and I like take it off to signify the moment where like Beast turns into Prince Charming or whatever his name is. And normally at that moment, we kind of like embrace each other and then like have this like romantical kiss moment. But instead, I took the mask off and then I ran backstage. And I think you had said at that point in time, you thought that I was like having a panic attack or like I was like couldn't breathe.
The mask was too hot, and I was like, I think he's dying.
And the fucking mask is hot and miserable.
Like, oh, he's going through it.
And well, what the hell would you have done if that was the case? Just kind of continued with it?
Yeah.
I never actually asked that question.
The air, bitch. I don't know.
I never asked that question.
I don't know.
But meanwhile, the reason I had gone backstage was to grab a little pink box, and in that pink box was none other than an onion ring, because you had always told me that if we were to ever get engaged, you didn't want some kind of like diamond ring or anything like that. You thought that was kind of silly to spend money on something like that, and an onion ring would be just as effective and would make you happier. So I made sure that we had I made sure that we had an onion ring, and then when I came back out with the microphone and the box, and basically it said like, this may be the drag queen or the Drag Me to Landmark whatever your anniversary, but for the last 10 years you've made me the happiest person ever. I got down on one knee and said, will you marry me? Opened the box and it said, will you marry me on the box?
It was a fucking Hallmark moment. You got me, bitch. That was good.
Oh, I think we do have a video. I'm going to force poor Evan to put the video up.
Tonight may be the Drag Me to Landmark 6-year anniversary. But for the last 10 years of my life, you have made me the most happiest person I could ever be. I love you so much. The one you wanted.
We'll give it a moment while we're doing this, and we'll play the whole moment.
You chef kissed.
I tried.
Kissed that bitch.
You're an amazing person. I always wanted to make sure that there was a moment that you would remember if that was an adventure that we were going to embark upon.
Well, I will definitely remember that for the rest of my life.
And I felt like it was. Obviously, it's Landmark in Glassboro. It's a college bar. It may seem a little weird to people, but that place is the venue that kind of started it all for us. So although it may be a college bar, it may not be this like ritzy establishment or whatever, it'll always hold a special place in our heart, and I it's like our baby.
I mean, that is the reason. That is where we got our start. That's why we're here
today. Literally recording any of this. So that will always hold a special place in my heart, and I'm glad that we were able to not only enjoy that together, but we were able to make it a moment for the people that always come in with us.
Same.
As well.
I think that was something that the whole audience obviously wasn't expecting either. I just remember everybody was just gooped at that moment.
I remember there were some shady bitches online who maybe not be our biggest fans that thought we literally did this to sell tickets to a show.
Yeah, I heard about that. Or apparently somebody else got engaged like before us, and we were copying
copied
them.
We copied them.
You know, our
We
12
copied.
year at this relationship, we're copying.
Copying.
To each their own.
Well, whatever. But like I said, that will always be one of my happiest memories in the Disney universe, regardless of whether it was in Disney World or just within us. But speaking of Disney, I do have a fun game.
We're speaking of Disney?
I hate you so much. I have, as we just talk about our engagement, I do have a fun game planned. I know that you kind of stopped watching Disney movies more or less about 2010 or so.
I was like, once she became the princess.
So I have a bunch of pictures of characters from Disney movies that were released after 2010, and I kind of just want to embarrass you and see if you know any of them at all.
The Disney adults are going to be coming for me. They're going to be in my DMs.
You're going to get
How
yelled
dare
at for
you
sure.
do a Disney drag show?
You're going to get yelled at, but that's okay. So we're going to go to a quick break, and when we get back, we will play a fun game.
Let's do it.
We'll be right back.
Hello and welcome, Bippity Boppity, back to For the Love of Disney. We are going to be playing a little game in just a moment, but before we do, hey Jimmy, I think we should talk about our favorite Disney movies first.
Oh my God, how have we not had this conversation
I
yet? This is For the Love
know.
of Disney.
I just thought about that during break. I'm like, we
Good
should
save,
probably
good
talk
save.
about that too.
Good save.
You know, it's only the reason Disney is what it is. So let's chat. I want you know what? I'll start this one.
Okay.
I will start this one, and then we can go from there.
Okay.
All right. So as far as
I was
favorite,
like, hold on, are we picking one? Is there a top three? What are we doing?
should we like categorize this like favorite?
Put it in an outline, maybe a PowerPoint?
Should we do? Okay, here's what we'll do: favorite like pre 1960-ish, and then favorite post 1960-ish. So favorite old school, and then favorite newer school.
Okay, I might get it wrong, but we're going to go with it anyway.
Okay, all right, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm gonna say my favorite old school Disney movie would be. That's a toughie. Cruella de Vil. It's definitely Cruella de Vil.
So 101 Dalmatians?
101 Dalmatians. Okay, you got me together right there. Cruella de Vil is the new one. Cruella is the new one. 101 Dalmatians is definitely the one I meant. Also do love the new... Wait, does that count? Or do I only
That
stick
would
with
be
animated?
post.
That's what I mean. Like when I do the
Yeah,
post.
any Disney movie is fine. Yeah.
Okay,
I
the
would
post
say.
would be Cruella as well.
Okay.
Like
okay.
I just really... Just such a nasty
just hate dogs?
concept for a... No, just the fact that like... There was a movie, a Disney movie, about a woman who killed and skinned dogs. Like,
Yeah.
that's psychotic in itself.
Yep.
But then she's just this fierce, fashionable diva. Like, I don't know, the mixture of the fuckery of that she killed dogs, plus she's so fashionable. Like,
Not only dogs, puppies.
puppy, like she,
She
was
wanted the
sick.
puppies.
I don't know. I always was intrigued with that one. So that one always got me together. Cruella de Vil always. I was obsessed. And then obviously I love Marie, but I don't know when the Aristocats came out. I feel like that
in
was
the
like
90s.
I was like, was it?
Yeah.
No way. I do not believe that was in the 90s.
Yes. Evan, look it up for me.
Evan, look it up right now.
I think it's like 96.
When did I would say 1964.
I'm going to say 96.
Let's see right
Watch
now.
me.
Hold on before we say anything else.
We'll
all right,
wait. We got time.
We've got time. We're
You'll
chilling.
wait. You're here for it anyway.
Siri, when did the Aristocats come out? 70,
Fuck
bitch. I
me.
told. Okay, see who's the Disney fan now. All right.
70?
So I
Maybe
guess
it got re-released or something, and that's what I'm thinking of.
I guess to be fair,
Okay, maybe that's what I'm
to
thinking
give
of or
love to
something.
both of my movies, then I'm gonna say pre is 101 Dalmatians, post will be Aristocats,
Okay, there you go. There you go.
and then overall all time, whoopsh, Cruella de Vil. There we go.
The new one with-
Cruella, just
with Emma
Cruella.
Stone.
Yep, with Emma
Okay.
Stone.
Okay. Because there's also the Glenn Close 101 Dalmatians.
I did like the new one better. I'm gonna be honest. I did.
Glenn Close's portrayal of Cruella, I think, will always be the
Her
best.
portrayal was incredible, but the movie Cruella took it to another.
Yes,
it
it's
was
a great
rated
story.
PG-13, and it got a little bit more. The woman killed dogs. Like
Yeah,
it needs to be
it
a
was-
little.
it was
It needs
great.
to be
It was great.
darker.
It was great.
So
All right, so you want me to do before 1960-ish?
yeah,
That was the rule?
Ish.
All right, so I don't know when it came out, but I'm going to say it's before 1960. There's a movie called The Sword and the Stone.
I remember that one.
Okay,
I do.
a
They
little
had to pull the
blonde
thing out of the
kid.
thing. Yep.
King Arthur, I think it was his name. Little blonde kid, because he's actually a real historian.
That was a favorite of yours.
Yeah, I loved it. So
Wow.
you used to be, fun fact, you used to be able to go to Disney World, I don't know which park, and there used to be the rock with the sword in it, and every like 1,000th person that would pull the sword, it would come out, and you would get something free.
Okay, there was either a Brady Bunch episode or one of those shows that I used to
Sure.
watch back in the day when they did that.
Maybe they did. Yeah.
Fully remember
Yep.
that.
I
Fully remember that.
Me and my cousin Nick tried to do it. Neither of us were the ones that got it out, but we were both like, "Rah, rah," trying to pull the thing out. There's a photo of it somewhere. And then if I went Post 60s, they're both going to be nine. I have to pick two. I don't know if I can pick one. No, I can't pick one, so I'm going to pick two, and I don't care.
Do it.
Aladdin, we've already talked about it, but the
Yes.
first Aladdin, I think, is one of my favorite movies of all time. I've always been a huge Robin Williams fan. Him as the genie. There's a whole like drama factor behind like him not getting paid what he was supposed to get paid for Aladdin, and that's why he wasn't in the second one. But then they brought him back for the third one.
The one cool thing about the Aladdin musical, I have to say, is I remember the original voice of Jafar
Yep.
still played Jafar
Yep.
in the musical
Yep.
live.
Yep, he retired during COVID, but up until COVID, if you saw Aladdin on Broadway, the same voice actor who did the movie and all the
That's
the three
iconic
movies,
status.
actually, he's like, I'm Jafar.
He's like, this is who I am.
Do you have any questions?
Love that.
So
so Aladdin.
So yeah, Aladdin, Robin Williams, and then my other
Sword in
one.
the Stone.
No, that's
Oh, that was pretty
1960. My other one, a Goofy movie. Not necessarily for Goofy.
You got me into that
But
one.
there is a character which has become a gay icon for people that grew up in the 90s called Powerline, who I think was supposed to be like a Michael Jackson kind of like personification or whatever in that movie, because that came out in like 93, 94. And that would have been like his like part of his prime. And he was just this like male pop diva. And it was just like everything that like I ever thought I wanted to be and more. And
He was pretty much like a Michael Jackson in the movie.
literally. And then in the movie, the kid, Goofy's son Max, like ends up like getting in Powerline drag in the beginning of the movie, and like does it during his like opening assembly for like a school play or something like that. And I just remember like that being a fantasy that I had like in school, being like, I wish I could like do this whole moment. And then obviously that never happens. But between Goofy movie and Aladdin, I think that would be my top two.
Okay. The only other thing I want to ask too is Harriet the Spy, is that Disney or Nickelodeon?
That's
'Cause that-
Nickelodeon, 100%. I remember the tape was orange. It was an orange tape.
Because I was like, I'm trying to think of other things that I watched on repeat as a kid, and Harriet the Spy was another one,
Yep.
and it was an orange tape. I remember, but I was like, is that Disney or Nickelodeon?
Do you know what we haven't talked about?
What?
Disney Channel original movies.
Oh my goodness! Disney
we almost fucked up
Okay,
drag.
you know what? Honestly, you might even have to take some of the movies I said back. No, Disney Channel originals are different.
Separate category.
Smart House, Luck of the Irish,
Brink.
There was so many, it's not even funny.
So too many, way too many. There was one where they were on it was like Treasure Island or something. There's way too many. Brink, I think, was my favorite. That's the one I remember like watching.
Out of Disney Channel, Cartoon Network, and Nickelodeon, Disney Channel was the girl for me.
yeah.
Disney
For
Channel
me,
was
it
the
was
one for
between
me.
Disney and Nickelodeon, because I was
Put
a
that
huge
so Raven
Rugrats fan.
on, and I can see into the future.
Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Yep.
What the hell is her name? Lizzie
Lizzie
McGuire.
I mean, they had the Lizzie
Christy
McGuire movie
Carlson
too. That's a Disney
Romano.
movie we love.
What's Christy Carlson Romano?
Even Stevens?
Even Stevens.
Yep.
Kim Possible.
Kim Possible.
Kim
What's
Possible.
the
Call me,
sitch?
beep me if you want to reach me. All right, we need to stop. We need to get back to what we were doing here.
All right, so
Sorry
let's play
for the
this
rant.
game. Let's play
so
this game.
I have a game prepared, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Evan show you characters from different Disney movies. I think they're all animated, if I'm not mistaken.
Older, newer?
So they're all going to be from 2010 and current.
And how many are there?
There are 10 altogether.
And I will get 10 wrong.
You might. So I do know, with the exception of the first one, I know all of their names. The first one's like a cast photo.
What am I saying? The name of the character or the name of the movie?
I think the name of the movie is fair.
All right.
I'll tell you what the name of the character is, because I did some research. But
All right,
we're
let's
going to
do it.
start here with movie number 1.
Let's go.
Evan, show the doll.
All right, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 characters. 6 characters. 6 characters, definitely. And I'm going to say that is obviously called... I have no idea, but I feel like it's a one-word name.
No.
Okay.
You're getting somewhere though with the 6 characters.
6. The musical.
Yes.
Disney.
No.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Big Hero 6.
Okay. I understand that because there's 6 people. I know nothing about that one. All right, this next one.
So what movie is this
We
from?
definitely know her, but this looks like she's been updated. This is not the original, is it? Bambi?
No. No.
Who is she then?
Any other guesses?
Who is she, though?
This is Valentino from Wish.
I don't think that's a deer either.
I've never heard of
I
Wish
believe
nor
it's
Valentino.
I believe it's a goat.
Okay, all right, we'll go with it.
I don't know what Wish is about, but it's relatively new. It's one of those
Ooh.
Disney Plus movies, I believe. All right,
Wish.
next. This movie you have seen. I am going to confirm. You have seen this one.
It's a brown-haired girl behind a mother's leg. This is obviously Encanto.
No, because you have not seen Encanto.
I know, but I don't know what the fuck that is.
This is little Miss Bonnie Anderson from Toy Story 3 and 4. She's the Andy of Toy Story 3 and 4.
No, she's the extra of Toy Story 3 and 4. Who the hell knows who Bonnie is?
She's the one who got the toys when they gave them up.
At the yard sale.
Okay.
Or the
all right.
toy store or whatever.
In
it
3?
was. And 4, apparently. All right. Who is this little character
Ooh,
here?
a Disney cat. Okay, I know my Aristocats. I know Socks from Buzz Lightyear. I know Lucifer from Cinderella.
And this is none of them.
And this is none of them. This guy over here. Secret Life of Pets.
No, that is not a Disney movie.
Damn. I have no idea.
This is Mr. Mittens from Soul.
Soul. Okay, that is a guy with a trumpet.
Yep.
Or saxophone. I've seen the cover of it. I've seen the...
I'm not good with instruments.
Okay. Oh, now, honestly, I want to check that one out now.
All right. Do you know who this little blue diva is?
This looks like it would be from Inside Out.
There you go.
Look at me go, because that one's all over the news right now, or all over Facebook and shit.
Envy from Inside Out 2, I believe.
Envy. Okay, yeah, she looks like she wants
She's
something. I
envious.
see her.
Yep, mhm. All right. Now this one, I will say you know the song.
Oh, girl, he looks like he's from Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
He does. He looks like the werewolf guy. What's his name?
Yeah.
What's his name? The Prisoner of Azkaban.
Wait, why do I know this one? Why
Oh,
would
you know the song.
I know the song?
TikTok trend.
You know the song.
I have absolutely... He honestly looks like he's ready for emo night next month at Landmark.
He might be.
Are you coming on August 16th to emo night, sir? No, I have no idea who that is.
I'm going to give you one hint.
All right.
You don't talk about him.
Bruno. Good
From?
old Bruno from Bruno.
No, that's a whole different movie. That's
Moana?
not Disney. No, Encanto.
Encanto. Bruno is from Encanto. Holy shit. Girl, I tuned out after like 2000 years. Like,
And here's this little diva.
that is a newt. He's a blue newt.
It may be a newt. It is definitely a lizard. I can confirm that. I'm not sure of the exact
And
species.
he is from... What was the last one from?
Encanto.
So then he's got to be from the other one, Moana. No, he's not. He's not. He's on a desert. That's not the case.
That doesn't help the case either.
No, I don't know. I have no idea.
Are you ready for this one?
Yeah.
This is Bruni from Frozen 2.
Bruno transitioned?
He or whatever catches snowflakes with his little tongue.
From what movie?
Frozen 2. Elsa holds him in the hand.
Oh, God. Okay, I'm going to be honest. Controversial opinion. I didn't even like Frozen 1.
I don't like Frozen either.
I didn't like her. Or I know she's like the lesbian Disney character.
Let
which
it
you
go.
better work, Elsa.
Let it
but
go.
like...
Alrighty, next.
Okay, this is a chicken. Number 8. This one is definitely from Moana.
Yes!
Yep, because I see water.
I'm going to
behind.
butcher the name. It's either Hi or Hee. It's Heihei from Moana.
It's Ho-Ho. I seen what he does on a Friday night.
You see them eyes. All right, now who is this little diva?
This
Police
is
officer
Babs
creature?
from Space Jam. She got a little bit of a makeover. A bunny in a police officer suit. This is usually hired in Atlantic City. I have no idea.
This is Officer Judith Laverne Hops from Zootopia.
Laverne Hops. Okay, and what was the movie?
Zootopia.
I don't even know who that is.
The movie,
I do not know her.
structural and like societal racism, but it was through animals.
Okay, they better work,
It was
Disney.
Really good.
Okay.
Because like there was the cannibals, not the cannibals, the predators and the prey were like making the predators like they were spreading disease to make them like rabies or something to make them feral so they can make them look worse,
Oh my gosh.
like imprison them and shit.
Oh, deep. Okay.
Disney's got
But
writers.
It like teaches you like a real life lesson in
literally
a
that.
relatable form. That's
Hey.
smart.
All right, and last but not least, number 10 here.
I've seen her. I thought she was an Encanto Queen. Encanto
Nope.
Queen.
You've seen drag performances based on this performance.
I know. Who
We've
is-
had, I think, a viral video on the Instagrams.
Okay, Mother.
Facebooks?
Gothel. Mother
There
Gothel.
you go. Gothel, I think,
Yeah.
is it from?
Disney. Rapunzel.
Yes, which is called
Tangled.
There you go. So Astala Vista. From that, I believe you got 3 correct. 3 out of 10 ain't bad.
Is bad.
Oh, well, I was
Like,
trying to be nice.
That was rough.
But clearly,
That's all right. We're going to do a Taylor Swift podcast one day, and I'm going to hand your ass to you on a platter.
fuck my drag. But clearly, I think it is safe to say that when we get done this podcast here today, that we have to run up and watch some Disney Plus, catch up on some Encanto, some Wish, some Soul. Anything else that was released after 2010?
I haven't even seen Lilo and Stitch yet. Well, since this is the last episode of the podcast you're all tuning into,
can I make a confession? I've never seen Cars.
It's pretty bad too, Jimmy. I've seen Cars. I have seen Cars.
I don't like Cars, and I don't really like Larry the Cable Guy.
But then they started getting like Cars 2, 3, and 4.
Exactly, and I said,
then
this
they were
is
like
crazy.
Flying cars. I'm
this
like,
is
we're
out
done.
of control. This is out of control.
So I agree. We do definitely need to do a little bit better on our Disney.
Yep.
I think we should start with Lilo and Stitch. I think me and you right now should commit to watching Lilo and Stitch together.
I can do that. I love Lilo
and we
and
should
Stitch.
go from there.
I used to have the video
You've
game.
seen that one already?
I used to have the
let's
video
do
game.
one then we have not seen. Moana?
Yes, neither of us have
Let's
seen Moana.
commit then to Moana being the next thing that we put on the television and make sure we watch that through and through.
Okay, so before the next pod that we record, we will have watched Moana.
Don't get crazy now, okay? We're a little busy, all right? It might take us a minute, but there's going to be one of those times where we're sitting on the couch and we smoke the bowl and we're like, remember we said we were going to watch Moana and we're going to put it on.
There are good songs. I do know some of the songs.
From
Moana.
That
We can't sing it anyway because of rights and stuff.
And that's why I'm ba-ba-buying.
That's the one.
I'm loving
Not
it.
because you didn't know the words. But I had an amazing time talking with you today about all things Disney.
I had a Disney-rific time with you, Jimmy.
I'm so happy that we were able to even include the Disney Channel original movies there. I didn't even think about that as we were planning things out for this episode. But I'm so happy that we discussed those. Those were definitely a huge part of my childhood. Definitely occupied a lot of wasted hours of my life, and I wouldn't have had it any other way.
They were that girl.
And I think a lot of them are available on Disney Plus now,
Yep.
if I'm not mistaken, right? I know...
That's what's going to happen. We're going to go to watch Moana on the Disney app, and then we're going to Disney Channel originals, and then
Disney
it's over for
Wire.
us. It's over for us.
Sing
at
to
that
me,
point.
Paolo.
Yeah, literally.
But I had an amazing time with you. I'm very excited for what we have coming up next week on For the Love of Drag Pod. But until then, why don't you give it up for a few people that we owe a little bit to?
Yes, so this podcast, these costumes, all this Disney stuff would not be possible without our fierce sponsors. So I want to give a gigantic thank you right now to our close fam drag members, and then an extra special magical Disney thank you to our Call Me Mother sponsors. We've got the one, the only Miss Barbara Rambo, who is definitely a Disney fan. She comes to all the Disney brunches. We also got to give it up for the DragFam 27. And last but certainly not least, Kathy P. And the P today stands for princess, okay? I believe with that being said, Jimmy, the only other thing we have to say is hasta la vista until next time, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next episode of For the Love of Drag Pod.